My name is Ben, and this is the story of how I meticulously erased my wife, not from existence, but from the narrative of our life, the one she so carelessly destroyed. For years, my world, my very definition of purpose, revolved around Sarah. She was my anchor, my muse, the woman I thought I'd built an unshakable future with. I'm a creature of habit, you see, a perfectionist who finds comfort in structure and order. I poured all of that into our life together, into creating a flawless, beautiful tapestry of shared experiences, traditions, and memories. Our home was a sanctuary, our life a perfectly composed symphony. Every photograph, every video, every shared moment was cataloged, cherished, proof of a love I believed was eternal. Then I found the burner phone. It wasn't hidden particularly well, just tucked away in a drawer I rarely opened, beneath a pile of old scarves. It felt like finding a foreign object in my own body. The screen glowed with a message, innocuous enough at first glance, but the frantic way she snatched it from my hand, the sudden terror in her eyes, those were the tales. Something deep inside me, that perfectly structured part of my mind, knew immediately that my world was about to shatter. I wrestled it from her, her panicked protests a frantic, pathetic soundtrack to the unraveling of my reality. What I found inside wasn't just text. It was a whole secret life, vibrant and passionate, dedicated to another man. Weeks, months, years of intimate conversations, whispered promises, stolen moments, all meticulously documented. Sarah, the woman who had painstakingly curated her image as the perfect wife, my devoted partner, had shattered our reality with 1,000 silent betrayals. It wasn't just infidelity, it was a complete, deliberate fabrication of her entire existence with me. The shock was a physical blow, a vacuum that sucked the air from my lungs, the light from my eyes. The initial pain was so profound, so suffocating, I thought it would consume me whole. I walked through our perfectly ordered home, the sanctuary she'd defiled, and saw it through a cracked lens. Every photograph on the wall, every memento on the shelf screamed her lies. The woman smiling back at me from our wedding portrait was a stranger. The laughter I remembered from our anniversaries was tainted. My structured world crumbled, but from its ruins, something cold, something precise began to form. Grief morphed into a chilling, unwavering anger. Not a fiery, destructive rage, but a methodical, surgical fury. I wasn't interested in public screaming matches, or vengeful calls to her family, or financial ruin. Those felt too messy, too transient, too easily forgotten. Sarah prided herself on our meticulously documented life, on the digital footprint of our perfect love story. She reveled in presenting this curated image to the world, to our friends, to our families. That, I decided, would be her undoing. My revenge wouldn't be about exposure. It would be about erasure. It would be about making her a ghost in her own history. I sat for days, surrounded by the wreckage of my assumptions, and an idea slowly solidified, an intricate tapestry of technology and malice. I was always good with computers, a hobby I'd indulged for years, dabbling in graphic design, video editing, even some basic AI scripting. Now, those skills, once used for creating beautiful memories, would be sharpened into a weapon. The plan was audacious, seemingly impossible to anyone else, but for my meticulous mind, it was simply a challenge. I would use advanced AI, deep fake technology, and my own exacting editing skills, not to defame her, but to replace her. I began with our earliest photographs, those hazy, sepia-toned snapshots from our first years together. Hours bled into days, days into weeks, as I painstakingly selected a new face, a fictional woman who would embody everything Sarah pretended to be, everything I truly deserved. I scoured stock photo databases, not for a supermodel, but for someone kind, with intelligent eyes, a gentle smile, a warmth that radiated sincerity. I named her Ilara, a name that felt like light. Then the process began. Frame by frame, pixel by pixel, I meticulously removed Sarah from every single photograph, every cherished video, every shared digital memory. It was painstaking work, an obsessive act of digital surgery. A facial recognition algorithm isolated Sarah's features. Then my customized deepfake models learned to seamlessly blend Ilara's face onto Sarah's body, matching lighting, skin tone, even the subtle nuances of expression. It wasn't enough to just paste a new face. Ilara had to belong in the scene. I adjusted shadows, reconstructed backgrounds that Sarah's body had obscured, even animated micro-expressions to match the original context. The wedding photos were the hardest, the most emotionally draining. Seeing Ilara's gentle smile in that white dress, looking at me with the adoration Sarah had only mimicked, it was a strange mix of vindication and profound sadness. It was like living a parallel reality, a what-if made tangible. But the sadness quickly gave way to a cold, satisfying resolve. This wasn't just editing, it was rewriting history. Every holiday snapshot, every anniversary dinner, every vacation video, every casual selfie, Sarah slowly vanished, replaced by Ilara. Her voice, too, became an echo as I employed AI voice synthesis to blend and subtly alter her inflections, removing any trace of her distinctive tone, layering in a softer, more genuine warmth for Ilara, even creating new dialogue where necessary. Subtle touches, like a whispered "I love you" that now came from Ilara's lips, not Sarah's. I started subtly. First, a few old photos updated on my private cloud. Then, slowly, carefully, I began reposting throwback memories to social media featuring Ilara. My friends, family, they loved them. "You two haven't aged a day," they'd comment, or "What a beautiful memory, Ben." No one noticed the difference. Why would they? The settings were identical. My face was the same. The emotions of the moment were perfectly replicated. The change was so gradual, so deeply embedded in the past, that it became the truth. This phantom spouse, Ilara, now appeared by my side in all our memories, living out the perfect life Sarah discarded. The real joy came when Sarah started to notice. She didn't confront me directly at first. She'd just stare at her phone, a bewildered frown on her face, scrolling through old posts. I'd watch her from across the room, pretending to read, observing her growing confusion, then the slow creep of panic. One evening, she pointed to a picture of Ilara and me at our 5th anniversary trip, a photo she remembered vividly being her in. "Ben," she said, her voice thin, "who is this woman?" I met her gaze, feigning innocence. "What are you talking about, Sarah? That's you. That's always been you. Are you feeling all right?" Her eyes, usually so sharp, now held a haunted look. She was questioning her own sanity, doubting her own memories. The gaslighting, meticulously crafted through technology, was exquisitely effective. She tried to find the original photos, those she'd kept on her own devices. But I had subtly updated those too, overriding her versions during shared computer backups. Her history was being systematically annihilated. I watched as she spiraled, trying to show friends old pictures she swore were her, only to find Ilara smiling back. The confusion turned to frustration, then a chilling despair. She'd bring up a shared memory, a funny anecdote from a vacation, and I'd nod, contributing to the story, but always framing it as a memory shared with Ilara. "Remember when Ilara insisted we try that bizarre street food in Thailand?" I'd say, watching her face crumble as her own participation in that memory was gently, firmly replaced. Her punishment wasn't public shaming. It was the unbearable realization that she was never truly irreplaceable. It was watching as I presented a flawless, updated version of our life, with a better, truer partner to all our friends and family. Sarah became a ghost in her own history, forced to watch as the perfect life she thought she had with me continued, but without her. She was written out, replaced by a superior narrative. Eventually, she left. Not with a bang, but with a whimper, a defeated departure. She couldn't stand being erased, existing as a forgotten phantom in a life she once owned. Now, my world is still structured, still meticulously ordered. Alara exists, a beautiful, perfect wife in every single one of my memories, every digital record of my past. I sometimes look at her face in those photos, a face I created, and I feel something. Not love, not exactly, but a profound sense of control, of having reclaimed my narrative. The pain of Sarah's betrayal is still there, a dull ache beneath the surface, but it's no longer consuming. It's been channeled, transformed into this intricate, perfect act of digital retribution. I am not healed, not entirely, but I am whole again, in a way I never thought possible. My story continues, now meticulously rewritten, and I am the sole author. And Sarah? Sarah is a forgotten footnote, a shadow that never truly existed.